Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seats. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. And good morning. Welcome to the Monday morning edition of the Southern Fried Podcast Morning Show. We are glad you are here with us. Wake up, get up, pray up, coffee up, all those good things we got to do.
Yes.
It's get up, Monday. Pray up, coffee up.
The weekend's over. This is a sad time for a lot of people. The weekend's gone. Now it's Monday morning and we got to get back to the grind.
That's a double whammy for me, Rob. I've got to go to the doctor first, then work.
And then you got to call the air conditioner repair guy.
Yeah, we're going to work on that too today. So, yeah. But, hey, before we get started good this morning, we want to give a shout out. Rob will pop that up real quick. This morning on the morning show, we're going to give a quick shout out to a city, Bucksnort, Tennessee. I have no information of how many people actually live here. There's no geographical data available. But right off of I-40 there is good old Bucksnort, Tennessee. And it used to be a town. It's not really a town anymore, but they still have, as you see, the exit, number 152 there. And you see a little broken down sign. And there's a little bit of history to the town, Rob, and a couple of ideas about how they got the name Bucksnort. I kind of think they're the same story, just in two different ways. I read somebody that's actually descended from a gentleman who was kind of in the area, ran a couple of businesses, but one of them says that you could get a snort of moonshine for $1 or $1, so buck snort. But there's also another story. The gentleman who kind of recognizes a guy who kind of got that started. He locked in Bob, and they said when he get pretty lit, he would snort. So his name was Buck, and they'd say, "Oh, Buck's snorting again." And it just got shortened down to Bucksnort. So however the name got started, if you live in and around Bucksnort, Tennessee, salute this morning. We give you a shout out. Be proud of your area. You got exit too.
Yeah. It could be there's a lot of deer hunters there and they just heard a buck snort.
Well, there's a lot of different ways that could have come about. But however they got that name, Bucksnort, Tennessee, salute. We're going to be doing this every morning on the morning shows anyway. We have another one lined up for Wednesday, and we got to wait till Wednesday to see who that is. But if you're in Bucksnort or you know somebody there, tell them they got a shout out on the Southern Fried Podcast Morning Show. Well, we got a few folks coming in, Rob. Somebody's awake
already. Oh my goodness.
They're ready to go. They're ready to get in their day, or maybe they've been up all night, or however that goes. For us, we're just getting started. We had a nice special front porch talking last night. We don't normally do that on Sunday night, but we were doing some creating some content, getting some stuff ready for the week, because you're headed to the beach this come next weekend, and we did that. So hey, let's go online. So we ended up having a good time last night. Special time there. Good morning, Daniel. I see he's already gave us a like this morning.
Oh, Sugar Bridge is on already.
Well, yeah, he done gave us a thumbs up. Appreciate you.
Oh.
But we appreciate him being in there. Got a couple. He even said who it is. As far as the weekend goes, hey, the Braves did pretty good this weekend. They're still way back, but they're pushing the Mets down a little bit, won a couple of games. I'm glad of that. Go Braves. Got it getting in crunch time now. We're getting ready to the end of August, roll into September. Got to get it. Yeah. The Falcons, it was just preseason. They lost a close one. They went for 2 instead of going for a tie. They scored a late touchdown. And, you work on those things in preseason. They didn't get it. And the field goal kicker, he's a great kicker, but he had a bad game, but he had a great play. Like he saved a touchdown with a tackle. You don't normally see the kicker do that, but he put it out there. He took somebody down. Way to go. And as far as Falcons news, they've shut down just because they've seen all they want to see in protecting Michael Penix Jr., the first-round draft pick backup. They put him on the shelf for the rest of the preseason. They seen them injuries happening. They said, we better protect the investment here. So we've seen all we need to see. And one other one, the Denver Broncos, as this has a Southern connection. Bo Nix looks like the former, Heisman candidate, and didn't win it, but Heisman candidate from Auburn University, War Eagle, right? He looks like he's wrapped that job up. So Bo Nix, it looks like he's going to be your starter for the Denver Broncos. That's exciting. You imagine the journey that young man took, and now it looks like he might be the starter for an NFL franchise. That's not, and what a storied history they have. And so, way to go, young man. Way to go, young man. I don't know if you're an Auburn fan, you're happy. As far as Georgia, Stetson Bennett continued to show that he probably well deserves a backup role for the Rams. He's still learning. Really, it's 1 year was wiped out, Rob. So it's really he's still learning. But he cut down on the mistakes in week 2. Did throw a nice 47-yard touchdown pass. He's got some skill. We know that. So it looks like he's doing well. I didn't hear any bad injuries on the injury front. Maybe if there was some, I missed it, but I was trying to keep up with that. It's just around the corner. The games will be kicking off, and we're looking forward to that here on the Southern Fried Podcast.
Now, I would like to bring up a point that you made to me the other day. After Stetson's first outing, he had 4 interceptions, and he did okay, on his last game. But this is preseason. You don't know who he's throwing to. You don't know when the mistakes were made, if it was somebody deeper in the lineup, So everybody take that into account. A lot of people tend to write Stetson Bennett off. But I'm going to make a prediction right here and now. Stetson Bennett will eventually get him a starting job.
It's possible. It's very possible.
I think he got too much talent and too much heart not to.
Every time he's counted out, he comes back strong. He's got that great ability to shake off the last play. He's always ready to go win your game, and he showed that time and time again. And he had games where when he was at Georgia, he had some games where everybody was really getting on him. At one point, was even off the team at a junior college. Came back. The rest is history. I mean, and he's still learning the game. I mean, it's. NFL is the speed of it is what gets them. And I would say on that, and I haven't looked at those interceptions, but if you look at the NFL and first of all, you got to learn that playbook. You are playing with guys. Some of them are not going to be on the team come the first week, the 53-man roster. They have to work with different starting groups. Sometimes they get to work with the starters. Sometimes it's backups or 3rd, 4th, 5th stringers, whatever. He's learning the speed of the game. Those cornerbacks will bait you. You have to play. You have to play and play and play to get used to the speed of that game. Some people pick that up quicker than others. He's really good about not making the same mistake twice. Like I said, he cut down on the mistakes in preseason game 2. He did have one interception, I believe it was, and a fumble. He's got to cut that down. I mean, that's killers for a team, and he's got to cut those down. I don't know what y'all are talking about on the sidebar over here. I go back to the OJ trial. They had to have the side meetings, the sidebar. It was constantly coming up. I mean, it seemed like every third or fourth point they were having a side meeting. So y'all got these little side meetings going on. Your counsel.
He said he's the one that said that, and I said, I'm sorry. I mean, I get you and him confused sometimes. Can't remember who said what.
Oh, so he called you me. Is that what you're saying?
No, he called you him. I got you and him mixed up. And I was talking about what happened with Stetson Bennett. Didn't know what he was throwing to and everything. Or is that's what he said? I don't know. I thought he was trying to say that he's the one that said that. And y'all look a lot alike. It's easy to get y'all confused.
On that note, have you ever been told you have a twin out there?
Yes.
I've heard that many times. Now, one of those, I did have my full beard, and I was much younger and wearing a ball cap at the time, which normally I do. But I I heard it just recently at a drive-through. They asked me if I worked for some pest control, and I'm like, no, I don't. I never have worked for a pest control. They said, well, you got a twin running around out there. I don't
Well, I
know.
tell you what was funny was years ago, when I worked up there in that area, there was another guy that had my same name, Robert Blevins,
Oh, wow.
and he was a meat cutter.
Wow.
And everybody was like, "Oh, you're not Robert Blevins, yeah, I'm Robert. No, I've worked with him before. You're not. Yes, I'm my dad blind name. There's two of us, but one of us is really good looking."
People are funny. I walked into a convenience store that one time, and I had this lady said, "What are you doing down here?" I said, "Well, I live down here." She goes, "Oh, don't." She thought I was her uncle. She said that she wanted to know what I was doing in Georgia because I, was back home in Kentucky. And I thought, I don't know who that is that lives in the hills of Kentucky, but it's not. It's some other guy. It's not me. I had to show her my driver's license. She thought I was pulling her leg. She said the
Oh, wow.
voice inflection, the look, everything was the same. She said it was
Huh.
really eerie and just who knows, man. Maybe she was feeling no pain, we might say, but it's what she claimed. But
How
just
weird would
everybody
it,
has one.
how weird would it be to have a twin out there and have him be married and have the wife walk up behind you and pat you on the booty, as wives are prone to do at times, and then you turn around and see this complete stranger, and then she still thinks it's her husband or whatever. That would
I
be
had
weird.
I was at the Titanic thing up in Pigeon Forge years ago, walking through with my family, and there was this guy and lady. They were kind of in our little area where they were walking through. And there was a guy standing there. It was his wife. I didn't want to scare her. Like she was putting out her hand, like to feel for her husband, and she put her hand on my chest. And I'm sitting here, my hands up, like I don't want to say excuse because I knew it would scare her. And her
Yeah.
husband is dying laughing. He's dying laughing. And she's patting me on the chest, and she's saying, that's interesting, and talking about whatever. And then she turns around and we're face to face. And she went, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. He is rolling, man. I mean, he's almost doubled over laughing. But he gave me the thumbs up, for playing it out and not scaring her. We were all cool. We had fun in that exhibit. Somebody tapped on the window. There's a place up there where they have the pretend iceberg or whatever. And my wife was looking through. This guy tapped on the window. I did the same thing. It might have been the same guy. I don't remember. I don't think it was. I think it's somebody else. It scared her, and I gave him the thumbs up. Like, that's cool, because she was trying to look through that mirror, that not mirror, but through that glass. It's kind of dark in
Right.
there. This guy tapped on the window. About that time, she jumped back. She said, something's in there. She didn't see him. I could barely make him out. I was giving him the thumbs up. She
Oh,
probably thought.
you should have told her that's where they kept Sasquatch.
That's the ice monster.
The ice monster.
Yeah.
Yvonne, the snowman from the Burl Live show.
Yeah.
You're going to be eating Rudolph here in just a second. Watch close. You'll see the red
Yeah.
dot flying across.
We went down to this Christmas exhibit one time. It was in the big metropolis of Lafayette. We call it Lafayette around here. And it was pretty cool. They had this, they do these lights, and a lot of places do them now where they have them moving to the music and everything. It's outdoor, and you can take your family down and walk around. And then it's a historic building, actually. It's very historic. I don't know if they still do this, but in the window, you couldn't tell. I mean, you could kind of tell if you were paying attention, but if you were just walking along, it looks like that Santa is coming up to the window with a candle burning, and he's kind of looking out like a winter's day, looking outside. And that we had just walked up and it happened. It was my wife. It's kind of scared her a little bit, and she goes, "Is that real?" Like, no, it's a video. It's like it plays over and over again. But she had just turned and saw it. We never forgot that. It's like, is it real? Was that a real person in there?
Yeah.
What, Santa? Yeah. Of course it's real.
And they go all out down here in Lafayette.
That's right.
It's real. It's really Santa too.
We had some fun out of that, but a great family time.
We're gonna have to have him back on here before long.
Yeah, old Santa, he went up and did a couple of they did a couple of weeks of some kind of summertime thing up there, and they brought Santa up, I guess, in the off season kind of a program. But that'll be kicking in, around right before, he said 2 days before Thanksgiving is when his season starts. And
We need to get him on here.
the Rock City Enchanted Garden or Enchanted Lights or however they say that.
Enchanted Garden of Lights.
Garden of Lights. What a name.
That's one of Jenny's favorite things to do. That's a long walk. And generally by the time we go, it is cold.
Yeah.
It's about the only time I wear my duster anymore. That being since I retired from wrestling. So the only time I get to wear it. But man, I'm glad I got it when we go up there.
Yeah, it gets you up on the mountain too. I mean, so it's even a little colder. Not that Lookout is, a huge mountain, but it is a mountain.
Mm-hmm. It is. And down here, I keep saying we have hills and stuff, up the hill or whatever. And my wife is always quick to point out there are no hills in South Georgia. It's rises and dips.
That's kind of like going to the Panhandle of Texas. You can see a storm 50 miles away. 50, 60 miles away. You can see it in the distance. You have little rises and outcroppings and stuff, but there's no real hills there. At least where I was at, I didn't see any. If there was, I didn't see them. But yeah, we like our mountains and stuff around here.
Well, I'm going to throw out some weather for down here in South Georgia today.
All right.
Supposed to be 96 degrees. Only got a 3% chance of rain. So,
well,
there is a big storm churning out there off the Panhandle of Florida, but hopefully that'll get cleared out by this weekend. It's supposed to be cloudy this weekend. So, and let's see if we can pull up some Chattanooga here. See what is going on there in north.
It's actually supposed to be a little cooler this week up here. I mean, not that high, lower to mid 80s, getting down in the 60s at night. But we even see a 59 there. I like that. I think it's going to heat back up a little bit. We got one more blast of hot coming.
Oh yeah,
I gotta get that air fixed because
yeah,
we had that heavy storm the other day and it rocked. I think it was a power surge. Everything in the house was blinking the power surge. Blink. And it hit hard, man. That was a hard storm that popped through here. That's been the thing with the storms the last month or so up here, month and a half. We're not getting the normal thunder shower. We're getting like straight line winds, at 60, 70 miles an hour with heavy rain, lightning. I mean, it's coming in with a vengeance,
Yeah, it is.
We're not getting that little nice, a little bit of thunder and a couple of lightning strikes, nice rain. No, we're getting sideways rain and stuff being blown over, trees down.
Y'all get some Forrest Gump stuff.
Yeah, and then 20 minutes later, it's sun shining again. And it's that's what we're getting. I like a day of light storms. Not bad. Something like that is rough.
Well, today y'all got 86 for the high. Y'all 8 degrees cooler than we are. 10 degrees cooler. Supposed to be sunshine and pleasant for 1% chance of rain. So y'all, hey, and then tomorrow's 84, then 83. But then it starts coming back.
Yeah, it starts coming back. We got another blast. We got to get to about mid-September before we really see the break and start getting into the 50s at night and 70s day, and that's what I'm looking for. Start feeling that little bit of fall in the air. Football's here. I love it. Leaves are falling.
Yeah, we're still in full-blown summer till usually October, just about.
You ever do that?
We go swimming in October down at the beach still. It's not going to get cool for a while.
You ever do the fall color cruise drives, stuff like that? Go look
up
at
there.
Yeah,
up there. But we have 4 seasons down here too, but it ain't like up there. Y'all have what is it? Spring, summer, fall, and winter. We have December, January, February, summer,
And gnats.
and that's summer. That's implied in summer, and they are rough this year, dude. I hope we get some good cold weather this winter coming up and knock that population down.
Some of the folks up yesterday at church was talking about how they remember years where winter hit early up here and hit hard, even well before Thanksgiving. Like they'd already had a couple of snows, some be cold, just stay cold. We had really, it's shifted. I guess these just the weather patterns have shifted, and we don't see that anymore as much. We do see it, but not like we used to. Just really out of the whole winter. I mean, we might see a few days like that.
No, dude, that isn't a weather pattern shifting. No, that's global warming.
Oh yeah, global warming. Sure, buddy.
We can't have a shifting weather pattern. Come on, that can't be it. Sorry.
Well, every time the politicians speak in Washington, we get a blast of hot air that changes the weather. That's every day, right?
That's why it's been so hot this year.
You know what?
Talking up there in D.C.
Really, really, Americans could come together no matter what political persuasion they are because honestly, politicians all lie. I mean, come on. All of them lie to a degree. Just some lie more than others. Or they're better at covering it up. They all lie. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's what's happening. They're all up there talking and they're aiming this way. That's why it's getting so hot down here, and you ain't getting falls up there. It's warming up there. They need to go and talk on the other side of the White House and blow that up north.
Well, what was it Ronald Reagan said? The scariest sound you'll hear is the federal government knocking on your door saying, "I'm here to help," or something like that.
Yes.
Whenever politicians say, "I'm here for you," you better start worrying.
Yeah.
What does that mean for me? Because I know it's not really for me; it's for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Occasionally they get something right, stumble into something right. But every bill that's ever voted on in states or in the federal government, it always has the hidden pork and everything else that's in there where people are getting the grift, man. Something somewhere, man, because that's how they do it. If you're a politician and you're listening in, you know how that machine works, making sausage and making them bills. And you can't get a bill through without it because they won't vote for it. They'll say, well, I'll vote for it, but I want this added in, this added in.
Yeah.
And the federal side, I'll say this because I know a lot of Americans love and support the American military. Mm-hmm. So go online when they vote a military spending bill in and just go to the bottom and start looking at all the pork and stuff added to the bottom of it because they know it's going to get you don't want to be the politician that voted against military spending. Yeah. So that's one of the big ones that gets a lot of stuff added to it. It's really frustrating. They will not single vote. It's rare to have anything a single vote. There's always things added into that. It's not just a single line item. We're voting for this, it's this, but then they add in all the other stuff. So that's true. I don't care where you're from, what state you're from, what side of the aisle you are. It's true, and everybody knows it's true, and just admit it. I mean, just all you do, go look at the bills, look them up. Look at them in the state. We're in Georgia. Go look at them in any state. Look at them at the federal level, and just look at. I've done that too. And the stuff they hide, the stuff they they say hide. It's just people don't take time to go read it. It's not hidden. It's all right there for you to read. You just got to go read it.
And why are we $35 trillion in debt?
Oh yeah.
How much of that is coming from the pork off these bills?
I don't know, but throwing that money around, throwing our money around.
Yeah, they're not throwing their money around. They're throwing our money around.
Remember years ago when on the federal side, many of them got in trouble because they have a bank account, and that they were no penalty. They could overdraw. I mean, some of them were upside down in those accounts by a lot. There's no penalty. They tightened up some of it because it got such to be an ugly news item that they were just treating that like a cash grab. Nobody was stopping them,
Yeah.
Rules for thee, but not for me, right?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
And then nowadays, you like even on a commission, like even locally here. I mean, we had it happen just this past couple of weeks where people got shut down that really were trying to present some. They couldn't get the city to work with them on some stuff they're trying to get done. They cheated them out of some minutes they had. Another person offered to give them minutes so they could their time so they could finish telling the people, and they shut them down. And so they actually, at the end of the meeting, this guy stayed, and the people. This is interesting, Rob. The people stayed behind and let this, because the meeting's over. He come up to the podium and he finished telling the people what he wanted to say. Now, when government's getting in the way of stuff like that, and that's on a small local level,
Yeah,
that's sad. These are the same people that claim to be conservative and claim to be, for the good of the community and all that. And this is a business owner trying to get something done, and he can't seem to get nothing going, and he's being blocked. And so he used what he could. He went after meeting. He went on social media. He told his side. And I'm not saying I'm educated on the whole thing, but I just don't think you sit people down. You let them finish saying what they got to say. You either agree with it or you don't. But that's that's the way our government works. You have your time you put your name in. You come to cover an important matter, but they don't like what you're saying. They just shut you down. They break their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
They say you're done. They say you're out of time. Well, he wasn't out of time. That bothers me.
If you tried to do that to one of them, it'd be ugly. It'd be the end of the world.
I may not even like what I didn't have a problem with what he was saying, but if I don't even like what you're saying, if that's your time, that's your time. That's let them speak. But anymore, they developed all these rules, and it happened all across the nation because they didn't want to hear what the people had to say. So they tightly controlled who could come up and who could say what. And they started developing even more rules and what you could cover and what you couldn't cover. That's really sad.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, the American soldiers that died and laying in cemeteries all across Europe, they didn't die for that. Mm-hmm. They died for the right to speak and the right to hold your leaders accountable. And the way we do that is with the vote and by speaking out. And anyway, I'm not saying we can't still do those things. I'm just saying if you watch, there's a lot of things that goes on in some of these things it's just not right.
Right. And if your leaders are acting foolish, you need to address it.
And I don't care what leader you are. You got to check your emotions. Everybody that comes up is not going to be in your camp. You're going to have your people come up and say, hey, thanks, Mayor, or thanks, Commissioner, or whatever for what you're doing. But you're also going to have the people coming up and saying, hey, you fell short here. You can't let your little feelings get into it and stop, because you don't like what they're saying. It's a difference of opinion. But you as a leader, you got to sit and listen to that. Our national leaders do it too. They cut. How many times have we seen? And again, this is all sides of the political aisle. How many times have we seen news conferences shut down, Q&A with reporters and all, and they just shut it down? We're done here, and they're out. And they weren't done. They just didn't like the questions of where they were going. That's not how that should work.
No.
You got to be big enough to stand there and take it. And you know what? Sometimes it's going to be hard, but that's the way that is. If you step into that position, you got to be willing to take that. And if you're a reporter and you're supposed to be doing your job is not to come up there and go, thank you for. No, reporter's job is to dig.
Yeah.
We want to ask about this decision you made or this comment you made or whatever. You got to stand behind that, and you have to explain yourself.
Reasons why our current presidential nominee or whatever is not doing any interviews or not doing any sit downs, not doing anything. She stays far away from the press as she can, it seems like.
Yeah. And if I'm a voter, I should be looking at that, Mm-hmm. Is that really what we want? I mean, it's like the man behind the curtain stuff, It's like we're going to limit what they say because there's somebody behind the curtain. And some people don't like hearing that, but I know things are scripted a lot. I mean, they are things they scripted as hard as much as they can, but you still got to have that time where you listen to the people, the reporters or whatever. And I just wish reporters would do their job. Quit showing your allegiances. A reporter's job is to dig for the story, get to the truth, the search for the truth. Nowadays, most of them should be ashamed. Again, they're groupies. It's like they're a bunch of groupies running around. Come on, do your job. Whatever happened to the great days of investigative reporting where they talked to contacts, they got sources, and they searched for truth and uncovered and we still see a little bit of that, whistleblowers coming forward and stuff. But anymore, it's getting hard to see any of that.
Yeah.
I just think that's sad.
It's very sad. And it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't even matter anymore. It's who says what when.
Yeah.
But what kills me is you've got you got the two main presidential candidates, and one of them is calling the other one a coward, and the other one's like, who are you calling a coward? You won't even do an interview.
Yeah. Let's talk about issues. I really would just like to stay on issues. I think that's important. Hey, let's run a couple of ads, Rob. You're probably about time to refill that coffee cup, and let's get ARA and something up there, and folks, we'll be right back. We don't go but for an hour, but we'll be right back. Stay with us. Thank you for watching Southern Fried Podcast Morning Show. Here at the Southern Fried Podcast, one of the blessed things we've been able to do is partner with the wonderful people at Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. These folks are a no-kill shelter in Donaldsonville, Georgia. You see the contact info on the screen. And these folks would love to have you come adopt a dog or a cat. They have folks that come from all over the United States, not just the state of Georgia. They're great folks. It's been a wonderful partnership between Southern Fried Podcast and ARA. And we've been blessed to meet some of the folks that have adopted animals from ARA. Also, we've been able to encourage people to donate and volunteer. They encourage volunteers that are in the area, and they're just wonderful people. We'd love for you to contact them, meet them too, go on their website, see some of the animals, and we know you'll want to partner with them too by taking a dog or a cat to their forever home. Join with us, the Southern Fried Podcast, in support of this great work of the Animal Rescue Alliance, Inc., ARA. We know you'll be happy you did. I know we are. Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. One of the favorite things that we do is sit out on the front porch with a glass of sweet tea and just talk about whatever. That's what you do on the front porch, wave at the neighbors as they go by, or even a stranger. We're friendly people, and we like to just talk about whatever. You never know what Rob and Dave are going to talk about on the front porch, and sometimes Chris joins us, and then you really don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll laugh a little bit, we'll shock each other, and maybe, just maybe, you'll join in with us and chat with us on the front porch. Join us live for Front Porch Talking each Friday night at 7 p.m. That's your friends here at the Southern Fried Podcast. Hey, this is Dave with the Southern Fried Podcast. Please join us each Wednesday evening as we go live for Hump Day News, where we talk about a little bit of everything. We'll laugh a little bit. We'll tell you a little bit of sports news and other news that's going on. Each Wednesday evening at 7 p.m., join us for the SFP Hump Day News live. You're midweek, making your way through another work week. Join us, and we'll try to make you laugh a little bit and keep your day a little brighter. And we're back.
Good morning again. How'd we do that?
I don't know how that happened. There we go. Hey, on that our Hump Day News, last week on Hump Day News, Rob, we talked about everything from gators to hippos to kitty cats to dogs. We had some crazy stories, and by the end, I think we had it all these stories working together, and the cat was responsible. So
yes,
that was fun. We had a lot of fun with those stories we do some different things on Wednesday night. So, and Friday night we were live. That's the longest show we've ever done. We were having such a good time. I think we went a little over 3 hours, Rob.
Yeah.
That's a Friday night blowout. We don't have anything to do that night. We just keep on going. So We try to catch.
Everybody was in here with us, and it was just hard just to knock off too.
Oh,
And we
man.
got quite a few in here this morning. I see X is representing itself this morning. Y'all are really rocking this morning.
Way to go, X. Thank you for the
Facebook.
the likes, the follows, and all the things you do. We appreciate it. Thank you, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble,
Yes.
folks. We're getting a lot of looks on Rumble. We're adding to. We're now on Apple Podcast, and our newest one is Spotify. We're just starting to load program up on Spotify, but we're on just about everything out there. Appreciate you very, very much. We're having fun. We're kind of new. We've only been around for about 3 months, but we're growing every day and got different kinds of programming. Rob, we're talking about a gardening show. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about doing a little bit of gardening show for the winter. We're going to talk about some winter gardening.
I think me and the cookster are going to get on that thing.
Yeah, we're hoping to have some recipes and maybe even some videos about recipes. We got to get the cornbread recipe up there. I mean, we got to do that.
I will do it. I had done it, but you know what? I'm new to this whole recording thing. Instead of pausing my video, I was stopping it. So I'm going to go back and redo it and just put it all together.
And they were bragging on Cook last night. We may have to have him do his gravy show. That I mean, he really got in that last night, talking about the gentle flow of the gravy out of the container to the biscuit.
I tell you what,
I love that.
Do his gravy, and I'll do my gravy. That way you can see what I'm talking about.
Michael was giving us a hard time last night. Said, y'all argue about anything. We were debating biscuits, crumbling up a biscuit or no. Cook's with us.
That's just crumble it up, get it nice little dainty bite-sized pieces.
That's right.
You know, in the South here, it ain't got gravy on it if it don't run from the bottom of your nose to the bottom of your chin and go from cheek to cheek. That's when it's got the proper amount of gravy on it.
Well, that's like barbecue.
You can't do that with them little bitty biscuit pieces.
That's like barbecue. You know, you got to have it all over you, right?
Yeah, and oysters.
Well, I don't eat those. You know me. I'm different.
Oh gosh. Now look, I have one thing I could eat is some oysters on the half shell.
Well, you know what? We heard from our member of our crew now, old Cookster last night, Cowboy Cook. Now, I don't know how many oysters a big old boy like you can eat, but if a guy could eat, what did he say, 209 shrimp?
I ain't getting to eat off with him.
And 16 pancakes, I think he could eat.
Even though he's eat me under the table. I'm not going to try to keep up with that.
209 shrimp. You know the cook had to be sweating.
Oh, yeah, he was sweating just cooking his, not counting everybody else's. I love Cook.
There was a eat off up here it was for charity. On one, this is a show years ago, and these two guys, and they regretted it. Oh, did they regret it? They did an eat off, and they both said that they loved the McDonald's pies. And they come in lemon and cherry, or they did. I don't even know if they still have them. They did an eat off of those, and those old boys. There was a winner, but they both looked sick by the end of the show. Can you imagine all that sugar? I forget how many they ate. Oh my goodness! It made me sick watching them.
I went to Apalachicola, Florida, years and years and years ago. And they had an oyster eating competition at the Apalachicola Seafood Festival. And there was 4 or 5 of them up there, maybe 6, I don't know. And they just had jars of oysters, and they were basically drinking them.
That's nice for your morning right there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but it happened. You talking about eat-offs. I mean, that was possibly one of the worst things I've ever seen. It wasn't actual drinking of the oysters. It was the aftermath.
Oh, I wasn't even there, and it makes me sick to even think about it.
What?
Oh,
man.
That's disgusting.
Look.
Do you watch the hot dog eating contest?
No,
do you watch that?
I've seen it. Nobody wants to see that.
Who cares how many
hot dogs you could shove down in your stomach? They're not even chewing anything. No,
they just water it down and It's disgusting, but there's a lot of people get into that.
Yeah. Oh, it's America. They can watch it if they want to.
That's right. It's not for me.
No. But
The one I want to see, they talk about their hot dogs and their crystals and their pies and what oysters you talk about. Let's see the ice cream eating contest, because that brain freeze, that would be fun. Wouldn't that be? I don't know. I've never seen that. Come on now. You're not only trying to shove ice cream down your gut, you got that brain freeze. That would be hilarious. That throws another handicap in there. I like that.
I'll tell you another good one that would be old tough old round steak. Cook it on the grill and throw it on somebody's plate. Here, y'all have an eating contest with that. They'll be chewing for 2 weeks on that.
Oh man, we do a little bit of everything in America, and some of it I don't get. But hey, we got freedom.
Put some water on that. See if that helps.
I haven't heard about this one in years, but used to one of the local car dealerships they would do a thing every year or two where they'd have people register to get involved, to put their hands on the car, and if you were the last one touching the car, you won the car. I mean, this would go on for, I don't know, I forget. It'd be like 3 or 4 days later. That'd be down to 2, and somebody would finally just say, "I can't take it no more." Another person would win the car. I'm just not into that. But
what if you had to go pay?
I don't know if they had breaks for that or not. I've never been involved, but that's just, why put yourself through that, even for the car? I mean, it's a challenge, and some people like a challenge. They're driven to do stuff like that.
Well, I'd be the one up there messing with people. Because if you couldn't go away to go pee, I'd be up there going, I want you to think of a waterfall, or a babbling brook, or, going to the swimming pool and jumping in.
That's what you say to your opponent. So,
Yeah.
Just give up. Just give up. Just go use the bathroom, or get something to eat, or you really don't want to do this anymore. We took a deep sea. Well, it wasn't deep. I mean, we went out a few miles, but we went out one night out of West Palm Beach, and it was storming pretty good in the bay. Got out there. It was really nice, but I was just a little boy, but about everybody on that boat got sick, but me, except for me, my dad, my uncle, and the people working on the boat. Just about everybody else was, bad sick. And my uncle, he had a twisted sense of humor, kind of like you. Oh. And he's up there, and he said, "Boy, I can't wait till in the morning. I'm going to get me some eggs and bacon and sausage." Oh, there were some people that hated his guts. I mean, as they headed back to the side of the boat, the bathroom, but there couldn't be but one in there, or two if it was counting both of them. Most people were just over the side of the boat. It was, I'm telling you, people paid a lot of money, and they hated their excursion. They hated it.
And, he only left one part out of that. When you catch somebody like that, say, "Yeah, I want a big old platter of scrambled eggs, some greasy sausage and bacon, and serve it up in a dirty ashtray." If you leave off the dirty ashtray, then you're being nice. If you throw the dirty ashtray in there, then you're getting down to my level.
It was a rough trip. Because I was a kid, and I was thinking, why is everybody getting sick? I really didn't understand. I was probably about 12 or 13 at the time. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember, to me, seasick, it didn't bother me. I was just a kid, but some people get really tore up, even on the big cruises, the sway on those boats is very minimal except in heavy storms, but people feel it and they get sick. They do all the things they're told to do, but there's still people get sick.
And that even happened to people in the Navy too.
Oh yeah. Boy, that'd be bad to choose that as a career. The next thing you know, you're sick all the time.
Find out you're so prone to seasickness.
Yeah, you're out for 6 months. Oh. Come back looking like a shell of yourself. Somebody like, what happened? Well, we sailed the 7 seas, and I was sick for 6 of them.
Oh.
My boy, when my youngest baby boy, we've had on here before, he would get car sick bad. Oh, trips with him was challenging. But I'll tell you, we were down doing a family vacation. This is back in 2000. We were staying in Tampa area, and we drove over to Orlando to do all the stuff over there because we wanted to be near Busch Gardens, but we wanted to go do a lot of stuff over in Orlando. So my sister gave us some medicine for him, and and it worked on the way down, but he had plenty of time to sleep and all that stuff. Well, we gave him a little bit before we went over, and it's about an hour drive from where we were at to, we went to, what's it called? Oh man, it's not SeaWorld, but it's one of the other ones where they have the Men in Black ride, Universal Studios.
That's,
and yeah, it was Universal Studios. Yeah. And well, that medicine was still, it still had a hold of him, and he was so tough to deal with. I mean, he was ill. He wanted to lay down. I mean, because he was sleepy, and that first 4 things that we did was just horrible. I was thinking, should we just waste the money and go home? It wasn't his fault. We just mistimed all that. And we got on the King Kong ride, and he saw that King Kong and he perked up, and from that point on, it was like my boy was back, and we had a ball. But that first, I think one of them was Twister, and I don't remember what the others were. People were looking at us like, I mean, he would say, I don't want to go on this ride. I just want to lay down and go to sleep, and I was, he was just tired. Kids are ill when they're tired. And, we had that.
Poor baby.
I mean, I felt for him, but and this is a long time ago. I mean, I can imagine what the prices are now. This, 24 years ago, it was really high. I mean, we were paying, I think if for 4 of us back then to any place we went, whether it was SeaWorld, because they all work together. I mean, they regulate those prices. It was like $225 for all 4 of us to get into all that. Me, my wife, 2 boys. I can't imagine. It's probably $425 today. I don't know what the prices are. Yeah, if you're lucky. But I remember every time we went somewhere, we went to 4 big attractions. And it was about $225 each time. That's just to get in the door.
Yeah,
that's not buying anything. That's just getting in. 24 years ago.
I'm gonna throw this out there for you, Dave, and something for you to think about. You was talking about your baby boy, and you dragged him around when he didn't feel good, and he was just tired and wanted to go to sleep. You got to remember, they're going to be taking care of you here in a few years. I mean, you're getting up there in years, and these are your children are the ones, and you're going to be like, I don't want to leave the nursing home. I just want to take a nap. And they're going to be like, no, come on, Daddy, we got to go. It'll be fun. You'll enjoy. I don't want to.
No way, dude. I'm saying bust me out. Let's go. No way, man.
No.
Bust
And
me
remember,
out.
you had to, and it all comes back around. It goes full circle. You changed their diapers when they were babies. They'll change yours in a couple more years. And, I'm
couple of more years. Come on, man. Well, I don't know if I told you this.
Elderly, dude.
I was telling my church. I went in because air went out. I went in to get the grandbaby. We went to the Big W box store. Well, he's baby boy, so who knows? I didn't give him his bacon. So we're walking through. My leg was bothering me. I was grimacing a little bit. Granddaughter's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Her leg hurts a little bit." So we're headed out. We're headed out of the Big W, and there's a guy in front of us. He's in the little smart cart or scooter or whatever you want to call it. And Kaylee, my granddaughter, she said, I could have killed her. She says, right in front of everybody, she says, Papa, in a couple of years, you might be riding one of them. What are you talking about, a couple of years? She goes, well, your leg is hurting. I mean, I just wanted you to know that I'll stay with you. Don't worry. I'll stay with you.
She'll get the stuff off the top shelf for you.
Yeah. She just threw all that out there. I'm like, and the old guy was sitting on the scooter. I didn't want to. I wanted to say that's for old people, but here's this guy sitting on the scooter. And I'm like, I can't say nothing, And I just said, well, I'm hoping that's many years out, Kaylee. Many years out. She goes, well, it might be, Papa, but you never know. I was like,
that's right.
Got out the car. I'm like, why are you talking to me like that? She goes, well,
that's amazing. And she has somehow innately gained perfect timing. I mean, she timed that to where you couldn't say anything back to her right then. You had to wait. So you kind of had to agree with her in a way.
She's pretty good at that. I think it's from being around me for the last 10 plus years. Yeah,
You know, I would have.
our kids talk like we do, and hey, listen, I'm a clean guy. I don't curse or anything, but I will say in road rage incidents, well, I don't have road rage, but we've all been mad. Somebody cuts us off, everything, and I have said the old tombstone thing, Jack Wagon or Jack Leg or something like that. Hey, you Jack Leg. So one day we were going down the road. We were headed down the road, and somebody cut us off, and she just went with, "Hey, you Jack Leg," and I looked at her. I said, "Hey." She said, "Well, that's what you would say."
And you go, maybe I shouldn't ought to say that.
Well, I could just see her at school. Something happens. I could just see her going, "Hey, you Jack Leg, you can't do Jack Wagon, you can't do that," or something.
Can you imagine the teacher going up and giving her her schoolwork and say she got a D on it? Say, "Hey, you Jack Leg, that ain't how you put B on there."
She wouldn't do that, but that would be funny.
I did try that.
Not funny, I guess. Wouldn't be nice.
I did try that one time. And handed me my schoolwork back, and I'd gotten a D on it, and I just sat there for a minute, and I looked up at her. I said, "Hey." She said, "What?" I said, "You need to go back to school." She said, "What?" I said, "You need to learn your ABCs. That's not how you make a B." She says, "No, that's how you make a D, and this is how you make an F."
Oh, yeah. Way to go, big boy. Yeah, run that mouth.
Well, I didn't say I didn't pay for it, If I'm going to get one, I want to earn it.
Cook's over here in the comments. He's just bombing. I mean, he's just throwing them bombs out today. I mean, he's not on screen much, but I'm telling you, he'll be in here with us on some of the night times. But he's up here this morning. Look at him. He's over there. He's throwing stuff out. I think he's celebrating Kaylee's old man talk to me or something over here.
Yes, he is.
I'll get you back.
That was a beautiful thing. I mean, hey,
that's what he said. Beautiful.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't beautiful.
It was too. It was beautifully timed. It was a beautiful comment.
I got news for you, though. I got news for you. Whatever it takes, when my time comes, if it comes and I am in the scooter, I'm getting my own. I'm not fighting with that crowd at the big box store for the scooters. You talking about serious throwdowns. They will fight over those things like it's the last bacon, if we want to go with that, on the table. I mean, they're making orders out in the parking lot. They're following people to their car and saying, "Can I get that from you?" I mean, that's how bad it is.
Oh wow!
I want to have my own. Okay, the Dave special.
Well, I have good days, bad days. Some days I have some days bad enough to where my wife will be like, you can get one of them scooters, and I'm like, no, not doing it. Don't want it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it. Because there's going to be a fight. Someone's going to say, well, you don't need that. I've got the little handicap placard. If I'm having a really bad day, I'll use it. But generally we find something close enough, and I won't use it. I won't take the handicap because I keep worrying about somebody in a wheelchair or something. And I'm somewhat mobile and I can get up and go. But by the time we get done at Costco or something, I'm about had it.
Come on, man. You're missing some real fun here. You get the scooter, you get your helmet on, you have a little sign on your scooter, say, student driver. Stay away, student driver.
Do not approach within 20 feet. He will run you down.
And on the helmet, you label it crash.
No, you get all the Harley Davidson stickers and stuff and put on the helmet. Get you a T-shirt on the back of it. Say, if you can read this, my wife fell off. And
oh man, it'd be great if you had a place for her to stand on the back of it, like she could just hold on to your shoulders. Y'all ride through the store. That'd be great. I'd love to see that video.
Wheelie.
And you could have some sounds built in, so you like push a button, screeching tires, holler, "Look out, incoming," or something. Little blue light.
Dude. When I get there, now it's going to have to happen.
I know, man.
Put that thought in my head.
I mean, if you got to go there, go all the way. I mean, have fun with it.
I tell you what, when you get there, let me know. And we're going to get out there. Well, I already know. You're probably already halfway there. But when we get there, you get one, I'll get in the other, and we'll both get blue lights and helmets, and then we'll just have a race around Walmart.
Oh, man.
I can see it now. I'll be bumping you, trying to knock you out of the way. You'd be like, hey, quit running into me. And I'm going to be going, Rubbin's racing.
I saw this one day. It's sad. It's extremely sad, but there's a level of, I don't know. I don't want to say laughter. There's nothing funny about it, but the image. So I see the officer and the loss prevention people running out of the store one day to chase down these shoplifters. They run all the way out to their car. So sometimes, they'd gotten that far out. I don't know how they got that far. Maybe somebody I was on break or something. I don't know, but they got them out there. They apprehended the criminals, and they weren't doing the walk of shame back to the store. They were both in those carts. And it was a mama and daughter. And they're riding along. They're being escorted back to the store. And here they are riding along right behind each other in the little scooters. Front, both buggies baskets are full of stuff. So they go in, and about 45 minutes later, I see them going down the road in the back of the police cruiser. Mom and daughter are sitting there, and they're both looking out through the window. I thought, how sad. But their getaway was the scooters. Oh man, that's sad.
I heard those things can really be souped up, especially if they're yours.
Oh well, there's speed controls on any of that stuff. I mean, that's. I mean, you worked. You've loaded stuff and moved stuff, material handling. They can govern down those fork trucks or whatever it is, or so you have to be careful. There's recommended speeds, and there's speeds that, if you're in a warehouse area or something, they tend to go a lot faster. But if you're in more congested areas, they slow them down. But they'll go. Even the electric will fly. I mean, they'll move. That's still energy. That's still turning. They'll fly. You got enough energy, it'll go. Of course, it'll drain that battery quicker. But yeah, I can sure the scooters could be made to really do some fast moves around Walmart.
I didn't get to see it, and I have regretted it ever since. I'll tell you what, I will tell this story now. It's a little bit longer story. I wasn't there, but it was about a high-speed pursuit with involved a scooter, but I didn't get to see it because I was off work that day. And, I'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Because it involved 6 or 8 people and the cops and everything. Understand. Yeah. Ask me about the high-speed pursuit at Bueller's.
I'll do that. I'll have to make a note of that. Folks, we thank you for watching this morning. We're almost at the top of the hour. Have a great Monday, wherever you're at in this area of the world.
Yes.
Make the day a brighter day. Tell somebody you love them, give them a hug, tell them Jesus loves them. Lift somebody's spirits today. People are not happy today. It's Monday. They don't want to be at work. Go in and be that ray of sunshine. Be that person today. Give them a big smile. Thanks for being a part of Southern Fried Podcast.
You be a big old ray of sunshine.
That's right. And then they'll just hate you.
Glad you did.
They'll just hate you. And then hopefully your day will go well. Whatever's going on in your world, we pray for you. We hope that whatever you're dealing with today, and everybody's dealing with something, we hope it straightens out very, very soon. So thanks for watching. Y'all are awesome. Yes. Thanks, Cook, for being in here. Daniel, I don't know if he's still hanging around, but he was in here.
We need to have Daniel on the show. We need an interview with Sugar Britches.
We didn't see Tar Man. He's probably sleeping in this morning. He'll probably be with us tonight. So, yeah, Mama said tonight.
That's right. Mama said what tonight? We hadn't even figured that out yet.
Well, we'll come up with something because she said so many things.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to snatch a knot in your butt. Love y'all. Have a great day. God bless. And get through this Monday, and we will survive it.
And again, another holler out to Bucksnort, Tennessee. Thanks for watching.
Salute.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.